here's a little video of a project that Uncle Matt is working on right now, and then I'm going to show you some cool equipment at the end of the video and how it works. So this is a cabin that we have out here that people can rent if they want to stay by this beautiful pond with a nice view. Okay, and what I've been working on lately with the rest of the crew is this trail here down to the cabin, and I'm going to start walking on it now. Now this might look like just an ordinary hiking trail, but this is actually a very special one. This is called an accessible trail. So we got a special, it's called a grant. We got some special money set aside from an organization that helps people in wheelchairs. And so this path has to be built to very specific standards, because this is made for folks in wheelchairs, so to be able to use the cabin. So it can't be too steep, because then the chairs will go too fast down the hill and people can't push uphill and it's not safe. So that's why this is a lot wider and a lot flatter looking than some hiking trails you might be used to, because this is for wheelchairs. Here's a little, we had a big dump truck come and set this whole load of stones, or they dropped off a whole load of stones in the driveway for us to make a retaining wall so the trail doesn't fall down a steep hill. And this is a machine that I'm done running for today. It's not very fun. It's really noisy and rattles you a lot, because this is called a plate compactor. So this is just a really heavy thing that vibrates really hard and compacts all of this down. Because see, this is how it looks when we start with it. This is called sure pack. It's just a loose material, so we have to run this compactor down it. So, but what I really started the video to show you is my favorite machine that we're working with, which is the mini excavator. So we bought it this year to do trail projects, and I forget you told me how high you can count to, but anyway, this machine cost about $50,000, because it has a lot of very special attachments for doing trail work. And Elias, maybe you remember when I was visiting recently, we talked about how you can usually tell how much an excavator weighs from the model numbers, and that's the case with this one too. So this is a 1.7 ton machine, and the machine that was working on the barn up the street from you is about a 3.5 ton machine. So this is very small, but that's important because we don't want a machine any wider than this on hiking trails, because then we would have to usually cut down a lot of trees to get the machine in where we want it to be, and that usually makes hikers sad if we have to cut trees down. So we try not to do that, and we use a very small machine. So it's the end of the day. We're usually too busy when we're working. I can't really pull my phone out. People would say, "Hey Matt, what are you doing? We're on the job. This isn't filming time." But it's the end of the day. Everything else is done. So I can't really actually move the machine and work with it and hold my phone and talk to you at the same time. But what I can do is start it up and show you what all the different controls here do. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do, even though I'm not actually driving very far with the machine, is put my seat belt on, because these are very, very tippy, much more so than cars, because they're very top heavy. So we always have to wear our seatbelt, just like in a car. And I reach down here for my key. I have a little screen that comes on right here. Okay, there's my basic all the gauges and everything. Let's start it up. Okay. And I'm gonna, so over here's my throttle. Okay, so if that's full throttle. Now I'm gonna leave it down there so that hopefully you can hear me talking. Okay, so the next thing I have to do is I reach over here, and this is a safety lock so that I can't bump the controls when I'm getting in and out of the machine. So I put this lever down, okay, and now the hydraulics are engaged. So we got a lot of different things going on here. There are controls everywhere. I'm just gonna take you through them one by one and show you what they all do. So 2 joysticks here. We'll start with this one. This can, if I go forward and back on this moves the boom. That's the piece closer to me. So there it goes, up, down, up and down with the boom. Okay, and then, so that's going forward and back on the stick, okay? Now if I go side to side like that, what's going on is my bucket is curling in and out. Okay, there's the bucket going. So now let's move to the other stick, the other side. This one, if I go forward and back, this controls the stick. That's the piece closest to the bucket. We call, this is the boom, and that's the stick. Okay, so this side is stick in and out. Whoop, ka-thunk, see that? I thunked it a little too hard, that's why I have my seatbelt on. Okay, and then if I move this one side to side, the whole cab rotates. So this is how I go back and forth, left and right on this stick. Okay. And then another thing I have here, this is pretty cool, is my thumb, and that's this little switch over here, okay? So I can, if I want to pick something up, I can run that thumb all the way. I can bring the thumb in, and then I would curl my bucket into it. Say if I had something I needed to pick up in there, that's how I would do that. Okay, so I'm gonna put that back up. Now, this one lifts my blade up and down there. That's for if I need to, I can use the blade to push things out of my way, or also if I can lift the machine up if I need to steady myself for digging. So there's that. And how do we move the thing? With these controls here. And so you can use your hands or your feet. I like to use my hands because I'm really tall, so it hurts my legs to use the sticks. But I'm gonna move forward on these, and I can only do it just a little bit with my phone in my hand. But there we go. We're moving. That's that. And let's bring it up here. Yeah, okay. Alright, this is gonna be a pretty long video. I think that's about it for now. There's a few other special controls, but it's probably getting this is a lot to take in at one time. So whoopsie. So I'm gonna drop the blade back down. And I'm gonna drop my boom. That's how we store it for the night so it doesn't roll away, both things on the ground. And then I'm gonna shut it off and hop out of my cab. And the last thing I'll show you before I stop the video is just some of the material that's left. So this is the rock pile. This was taking up the entire road here, but we've got I was scooping rocks all day with the excavator and moving them down to this retaining wall. And then this is just another little machine. This is called a mini skid steer. I think you've seen these run before, but similar kind of thing to the excavator. We use this to scoop up the SurePack. So, okay, this video is getting pretty long, so I'm gonna stop now, but there's a little overview of my project and some of the tools I'm using. Okay, bye now.